Hey Bob, thanks for the video. So guys, how would you like to have a killer serve like Roger Federer? Here are 3 points that'll help you get it. The first point has to do with the coil. So if you take a look at Federer's back foot, you'll see that his back foot is slightly behind his front foot. And the reason he's doing that is because he's setting up himself up for a coil. Okay, so his back foot is there. Now at the same time, look at his torso. Okay, his torso at the beginning was, his shoulder was facing the net, and now his torso comes out, so it's almost facing us, right, at the camera. And the reason he's doing that is because he's setting himself to coil and then explode through the shot. So it's almost like a 180-degree turn. Okay, so Bob, if we take a look at your stroke here, your foot is obviously in parallel, right? They're both in parallel, and so first of all, you're not going to get the potential for that coil. Next, your torso is not turning, so your shoulders stay pretty much parallel to the net, and then you turn a bit at the end when you're actually making your shot. So if you can coil like Federer is doing here, with the feet in the position first, and then turning your body out, right? Then you'll be in this position to uncoil and explode through your shot. Now the second thing has to do with the swing. So let's take a look at Federer's swing as he's about to make contact with the ball. So his racket is coming over his head, almost like he's shaving his head. So if he had a hat on his head, right? Imagine he had a hat with one of those strings. When he comes over his head to make contact with the ball, he would actually be knocking that hat off of his head, right? So it would be knocked off from the front to the back. And the reason he's doing that is because he wants to reach this position. Okay, look at this power position here with this racket. His racket is way behind his body, and that allows him to explode right into that shot. Okay, look at that. His racket is way behind him. Even here, look at that position. He's going to get plenty of power with that. So if we take a look at you, Bob, your racket actually comes out just not over your head, but it comes out kind of beside your head, right? And because of that, when you go to strike the ball, your racket doesn't get anywhere near that position that Federer's racket gets, right? So this is as far down as it gets. So look at Federer's position here, and look at your position here, right? That racket isn't getting anywhere near behind you in order to create that kinetic energy to explode through the shot. So now that brings us to our third point about the knees. So if you take a look at Federer here, he's starting straight, but then look at his knees. Okay, these knees, they bend, and it's almost like he's in a sitting position here when he's about to strike the ball. Okay, now let's take a look at your knees. Your knees pretty much stay straight. Okay, so you toss the ball up, and then as he's striking, the reason his knees are bent so much is because he wants to explode up into the ball. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is actually really amazing. When we started the video, you're actually a little bit taller than Federer, right? Now, as he's striking the ball, because he's bending his knees and he explodes up, look at the height, right? Look at the height that Federer is getting. So now, instead of you being taller than Federer, look how tall Federer is into the air, right? So this allows him to get an incredible angle down into the court, and that's also going to help you to get not only more serves in, but obviously a much more powerful serve. So if you can work on these 3 things, your serve will drastically improve. For everyone else watching, if you'd like your stroke analyzed, please direct message me.